Howdy folks, welcome back to Black Sheep Meadow. I'm Brent.
And I'm Amber.
And we got a good one for you today.
We have a stolen one today.
Yeah, we did kind of steal it, didn't we?
100% stole it.
So, we have some friends of ours that actually have another YouTube channel, and it really doesn't have a whole lot to do with homesteading in the same way we do. I guess they're
kind of nomadic homesteaders. It's really cool.
Yep. So, but they gave us this idea. They did this on their channel, I think, last week, so we're going to do it too.
Thank you, Tom and Stacy, for the idea.
We're in the middle of moving all of our chickens from the brooder boxes to the chicken tractors, and now we're moving them around every single day. And these are our meat chickens, not our egg-laying chickens.
These are our meat chickens that we get. We've taken you along the $55 brooder box. So they've graduated from the brooder box to the tractors, and now it is move them every day and take care of them for the next 4 weeks-ish.
Correct.
So, but Tom and Stacy's idea was a 10-minute question and answer.
Yep.
And we get a lot of questions about meat chickens when we talk to people, just interacting about the chickens. People are very curious about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a timer for 10 minutes.
Yep.
And I have a list of numerous questions that we've been asked, and we're going to answer them.
And at the end of 10 minutes, that's it. We're done.
At the end of 10 minutes, we're done.
Whether we're finished or not.
Whether we've made it through all the questions or not.
So we're going to hit that now.
There we go. Okay, first question. Why do you raise your own chickens, meat chickens?
So a lot of people are going to look at why we raise our own chickens probably as a health or an organic type situation, but really it's not. Amber and myself, we started more off as preppers than we did homesteaders. I guess early on in the prepping ideas, we realized real quick that stockpiling food really wasn't the best idea in the world. It's having the knowledge to be able to regenerate or grow your own food.
It did, and then quickly, once we've raised our own meat chickens, the quality and the taste of the meat that we were raising, we'll never go back to store-bought chicken again.
Correct. I can't do the store-bought chicken anymore.
No, it's way worth it for us. This investment in time and energy and money is way worth it for us in the long run. So we will continue to do it.
Yep. So
question 2. Cost. Are you saving money?
So that's kind of a loaded question. What is the cost in raising? I can tell you we just purchased the last little bit of food for the meat chickens this year, and if they're going to consume all the food that we've purchased this far and they're going to get to the projected weight that we've raised them to in the past, we're going to be something like $1.73 a pound. Last year we were $1.63 a pound, but obviously it's the feed costs have gone up.
The cost of everything has gone up.
With that too, we grow a lot of our own grain for our chickens, and we're just at this point in time in the year we are out from last year, so this fall's chickens are actually going to be a little bit cheaper because we'll be able to incorporate some of the corn that we've grown or the milo, other byproducts that we've grown.
Now that is going feed and cost of animal to the table. That doesn't account for the amount of time that we put into them, but I don't see that as a hindrance. It's just what we've prioritized. It's something that we're willing to put the effort into, but that doesn't account for the time that it takes to raise a chicken.
But if you look at like the cheapest possible chicken in the store, we're not saving any money there, but we're not growing the cheapest possible chicken in the store. If you were to do equivalent to equivalent, like if you were to look at the organic, grass-fed, non-caged chicken at the store, yes, we've definitely
beat their price. That's good. How old are they when we get them, and when do we process them?
So our chickens, we order, it's basically mail order. They're sent to us via United States Postal Service. It takes basically up to 3 days for the chickens to get to us. So when the chickens are born, and this is pretty much for all chickens, whether they're meat or egg layers, they have enough energy and enough liquid in them. They have enough everything from the egg that they were hatched out of to really make it about 3 days. They might be able to go slightly longer, but not much more than that. So if our chickens are born on a Monday, generally we have them Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning. It just kind of depends.
And they ship out the day they're hatched.
Correct.
So we get them at, let's say 3 days, and then we process them. The goal is to process them at 7 weeks.
Yep.
If they get too big too fast, we might process them earlier. If they're not quite where we want them to, we might let them go a little bit later. But 8 weeks would be the max, but our goal is 7 weeks. So
Correct.
we have these chickens for 7 weeks, and that's it.
The factor there is the efficiency side of it. You want to be able to feed that chicken as minimal as possible. Obviously, it goes back to the cost factor, what we were just talking about. You know, if that chicken's eaten for 12 weeks instead of 7, you know, you've probably more than doubled your feed cost, because the older they get, the more they eat. So.
And that kind of goes into the next question, which was the type of chicken and why.
Our meat chickens that we're growing here are a jumbo Cornish cross. I understand there's lots of different varieties out there that could be either a dual purpose or even just a meat purpose. Once again, it goes back to the cost factor. You know, these jumbo Cornish cross are going to get to 7 pounds in 7 weeks. I don't know of any other chicken that can possibly even come close to that.
I don't think so.
I know a lot of people talk about the Freedom Rangers. I guess it's Freedom Rangers. I've heard people talk about Red Rangers. The Bressie chicken was another one that I've seen mentioned here recently. Those chickens, that's fine if you're going to do them as a dual purpose, like an egg layer. Once again, though, we do not want really, most people don't want an older chicken. We would prefer fryers, you know, so they're going to be a younger chicken anyways. But most people don't want to feed them for a long period of time. Neither do we. We don't,
because it is, so chickens are very, they're very, what is the word I'm looking for? They are very prone to animals,
yes.
Predators.
Yep.
They don't have any self-defense.
Yep.
They are very much, we have to take care of them. So we don't want to have to extend this any longer than we need to. We want to raise them and get them in the freezer as quick as we possibly can, the most efficient way we possibly can, so that we don't have to stress out about them. The 7 weeks that we have them, that's what we focus on for 7 weeks.
I'm out here 2 or 3 times a night, every single day, moving the chicken tractors around. There's a lot into that. That
goes to the next question. Why do we have the tractor and not cages?
So the birds, as they get to their final 5, 6, or 7 week time, the amount of food that they consume is just tremendous. I mean, they're pretty much eating every daylight hour of the day. At least 12 hours a day they're eating food. So the amount of manure load that starts to go down, and like in each one of these tractors, we've got in between 10 to 15 birds. The amount of food that goes down in just a day's time is it's an insane amount. So the manure load on the ground is almost not cleanable. It's also an efficiency thing too for the homesteads, a sustainability, where these birds are putting heavy amounts of nitrogen on the ground. So if we're going to grow a crop here next year, like say a corn or something that's a heavy nitrogen feeder, that's where the birds are going. Our main garden this fall, that's where our chickens are going to be. You know, that's
it also puts them onto fresh bedding. So it's the grass that we put them over is like clean sheets. And they do eat a little bit of it. They do, there are bugs and stuff that they will eat. They will eat the grass, but it's basically fresh, clean sheets for them every day. And it's spreading the manure load out where we don't necessarily have to pick it up.
Permaculture.
So, permaculture, there we go. Here's a good one. Do you think I should raise my own meat chickens?
So this is a question, I mean, obviously, we know a lot of people that ask us, hey, I can't believe you grew this chicken, or that we showed them some chicken breast, or fed them some chicken breast at a family get-together or dinner one night, and they say, hey, do you think I should grow my own chickens too? My answer to it is pretty short. Yes, you should. I think everybody should be self-sufficient, self-sustainable.
I have to put a really big asterisk on that. So I agree with it. I think everybody should... I don't necessarily think everybody, but I think if you're capable, you should raise your own meat chickens. The quality of the meat is just amazing. But the asterisk is, these chickens are disgusting. And they are not pets. They are not like your egg layers. They go from being really cute baby chicks to being absolutely disgusting chicks for 7 weeks, chickens. They're not friendly. They're not cute and cuddly. They smell. They don't really walk. They're not a chicken that's going to fully feather out. They just kind of lay around in their own poop. And it's not a pleasant experience. And then you are going to physically be one-on-one, hands-on, processing these chickens.
Dispatching it all.
Dispatching, getting them into your freezer. That is something, the process of that is something that you need to take into consideration and make sure that you and your family, so if your family is watching these ugly, nasty chickens grow up for 7 weeks, and then you're going to put it on the table, they need to mentally be able to handle that.
Correct.
I feel like farm kids have an advantage because they grew up
that lifestyle.
They grew up understanding that this is where your food comes from. And we are doing this as ethical and as humane and as cleanly as possible. They're still chickens.
Yeah.
And they're bred for a specific job, and that is to grow and then become food. You need to keep that in mind. So my answer is yes, but it's asterisk.
With that, should you grow your own chickens, your own meat chickens anyways, keep in mind the space needed for a meat chicken is a lot greater than just a laying hen or a dual purpose bird. These chicken tractors you see behind us, we have 2 of them, and every single day after 3 weeks, so between 3 weeks and 7 weeks, every single day that chicken tractor is going to get moved onto a new spot of grass.
Right. And so, if you had that just in a cage, you are going to be cleaning manure a lot. So take that into account. But yes, I do. But there's the asterisk.
Yeah.
How long does it take to process?
So that's kind of a loaded question too. From the time, obviously the bird takes 7 weeks from the day that it's born to the day that it's ready to process. We've got that pretty much down.
It's 7 days. It's 7 weeks, give or take. Remember, like we said, the weight and everything else. But say 7 weeks is a good.
Yeah, 1 or 2 days. We're doing something a little bit different this year with the 2 different chicken tractors. We took all of our smaller birds and put them. Obviously, when we pulled them out of the brooder box, you could see some of them are smaller, some of them are larger. Generally, that is a male-female thing, but sometimes you could have a runt of the group, or you could really have a dominant female. But we took all the larger birds, put them in one chicken tractor, put the smaller birds in a different chicken tractor, and that's given us some options. We could do 2 different butcher dates to where we have equal birds, for the freezer. I think those are 10 minutes.
That's 10 minutes. I think we should finish up the question, though.
Okay. So, but the actual processing of the chicken probably for one bird probably ends up somewhere around the 15 minutes.
Probably.
From the dispatching, letting it calm down to the time that it's in the ice chest, get cooling off.
You've seen the videos where we do that before, where he kind of does the first part. He catches a chicken, he puts them in the cone, he dispatches them, drains them, he scalds them, he defeathers them, and then he hands them to me for the rest of it. The first 3 take me a lot longer than the rest of them, and that's every time. No matter how many times I've done it.
In the meantime, folks, as always, I'm going to encourage you, become ungovernable, get off the system, do something for yourself, take pride in what you do. Don't let the government tell you what you can and can't do.
Become self-sufficient.
Yep. We'll see y'all next week.
We'll see you next week.